Dad was an accountant, economist, numbers kind of guy. And he realized early on that a small farmer could not compete at the very low margins of commodity producers. We had to wear the processor, distribution, marketing, the middleman hats,
Right.
in order to increase our margin to be viable. And I realized, man, I can hand milk 10 cows and sell the milk at just regular Kroger retail prices to people in the community that want it. And I can make a nice living hand milking 10 cows, just selling the milk to neighbors. There was only one problem. It was illegal. I wrote a book on it, Pastured Poultry Profits, because people were wondering, how does this, little farm with no outside money make a living on the farm? And so, in 1991, I did the poultry manual, and in 93 did the Pastured Poultry Profits book. I was in my 30s. Things were cooking. We had a couple kids coming on. Life was good. And then we got our visit. We got our visit from the government, and they said, you can't do this. You can't do this without a license. And it never occurred to me that if a neighbor wanted to come over and say, I'd like to, I want one of your chickens, can you sell it to me? It never occurred to me that would be, a criminal act. The vegetable people didn't have any problem. You can pull off any side of the road and sell tomatoes, but you can't pull off the side of the road and sell a chicken or a T-bone steak. And so a group of us got together and said, look, we need an organization that will represent a true market access for small producers, so that we don't have to build $500,000, $1 million facilities in order to get one T-bone steak or 1 gallon of milk to a neighbor. And that was kind of the impetus of it. And so we started the Virginia Independent Consumers and Farmers Association. Our main successes have been stopping government overreach. Several years ago, for example, a bill went into our Virginia General Assembly that would have made it illegal to drink milk from your own cow. I mean, we live in a culture that says, get the government out of my bedroom, get the government out of my birth certificate, and yet we don't bat an eye at having the government get between my lips and my throat. Why should you be limited to what government bureaucratic orthodoxy says you can have? What's wrong with you being able to choose Aunt Matilda's chicken broth? What's wrong with you being able to choose Uncle Henry's butter? All the stuff that we've talked about, whether it's a backyard butchered, pork chop or an egg quiche that you make in your kitchen. All of this, you can give it away. It's perfectly legal to give it away. You just can't sell it. You just can't sell it. And so clearly the problem is not food safety. It is food commerce. And so if you can conceive of a way to transact that interaction without it being classified as a sale, then you actually come out from under the government jurisdiction. And so that's what the Rogue Food Conference is all about. It's circumvention, not compliance, and empowering people with creative ideas and alternatives so that we can come outside the regulatory climate and actually create relational transactions, between producer and wanter. Okay.